need Rizam Jayon Buleria. It's about to go down. DJ Sky, DJ Deliomar. Doors open at 10 p.m. Location will be at Renaissance Convention Center. No meas ekoki mansan chip un tiki chip kung hopi ko pakiar pero mas ke bo chip ekoi. Karso, come by. All right, y'all. So now it's time for a new segment, okay? Y'all, this segment is called Order in the Court. All right, and I have with me two of my homegirls, okay? So with me tonight, we got Steph and Steph. Okay, so ladies, please, let's just give a quick little introduction on yourselves, and then we'll move on so we can actually jump into this and get started. Okay, man. Jacob net kinang bang kumisa ko Steph.
Hey, it's me again. It's me again. I'm back. Conta com você não. Espero você tá claro, papia. Pouco com sério viajar aqui.
A little bit.
Sí, un tiki.
For sure.
So, welcome me back, okay?
Yes. We love to have familiar faces, okay? Y'all know Steph is a friend to the show. And Steph is also a friend to the show. So, Steph, please, bienvenidos otra vez.
Thank you, Sharky. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It's going to be hard because how are you going to know which step you're addressing?
¿Cómo te va a llamar, mi amor?
I mean, y'all need to figure this out. Like, what do y'all want me to do?
I don't know.
It's y'all's name. I got to respect y'all's parents.
I don't know.
It's Steph and Steph. Like,
I guess eu vou ter que guamar pra me saber do cunho.
Okay, Mr. Stephanie?
I don't call me by my government name.
Exactly my point. So, yeah. Nike and Von Dutch. Like, that's the most you could do. Periodico.
Ifam, graben horoscope.
Mi polibi 78, it's t-shirt blanco. Like,
Tampoco. Pero nos sabía the
y'all
full
came
match
the
out.
same thing. Like,
Yeah,
actually,
oh
we
my
all.
God. Yeah.
We are all matching today.
Camel color and
Steffi,
white.
I don't know.
You
But
know,
figure
son.
out. But figure out.
Pero we gonna figure it out. Okay.
No worries.
Order in the court, y'all. So right about now, y'all, oh my God. Von Dutch Steph is going to give us a little breakdown on some legal aspects so we can kind of like understand the conversation before we like have the conversation. Okay.
Yes.
So Steph, please take over.
So before we dive in deep, I just wanted to, so I did my little research, I did my little homework, and I wanted to dive in deep of what are the charges and what does that mean and why it applies to the case, right? So the first charge is racketeering conspiracy, also short RICO.
Mm-hmm.
And under this law, if it's a person...
Ora, não sabia se de quem não está papiando.
Oh, yeah.
Babi se de quem não está papiando.
Oh yeah, no, like this is the Diddy trial, y'all.
Seguro
Like,
para mim.
sorry.
you did it earlier.
Okay,
y'all, but just but the song though, like this is for the live because now we're on the live.
Oh,
y'all,
okay.
We are covering the Diddy trial, okay? Like I needed somebody to go through with this with me, so that's where I came up with Steph and Steph. So Steph and Steph are gonna be here, okay? And then we're gonna like discuss this because every week there are new stuff happening. It's like it's daily
only day
actually.
10. It's only day 10 and there's a lot
It's
happening.
a lot.
to cover.
I'm
So
exhausted.
we want to make this. It's we see because y'all also socially this is happening in our society. Okay, there's a lot of these things we may think like, oh, we're far from this, or it's only for the rich, and it's no. The poorest and the brokest people get trafficked and all this good stuff and go
Absolutely.
through physical abuse and all this good stuff. It don't matter. Like you can be rich or poor.
It affects us
It
all.
still affects everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, Steph, go ahead.
Yeah, so under the RICO laws, that means so if a person leads or significantly participates in coordinated pattern of criminal behavior, they can be charged. So if you guys been following the court case, why was Diddy charged with a RICO? Because according to the prosecutors, the government, there is a consistent pattern of criminal behavior. So that's why he was charged with a RICO. for the ones them that don't understand.
For the
Yes.
ones in the back.
Yeah.
Like,
The ones in the
legit.
back that don't understand what it means within the law of the United States.
And he's using money that was supposed to be used for
Bribery.
business.
For an enterprise.
Yes.
He's using enterprise money
So
for
bribery,
criminal things.
yes.
criminal stuff,
Yes.
criminal activities that he's
So-
physically doing.
So going into that, so it includes sex trafficking, a RICO charge, bribery, drug distribution, intimidation, and violence.
Damn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And who hasn't been hearing about
all of those.
all of those from him for years since I was in high school? This is the
Like-
demavo me escucho con ekos ki jega ki. Awo
This
ki
thing
mito
has
mane.
been happening since the 90s.
It's
Oh.
been going on. It's been
Yeah.
in it.
Yes.
He's always been that guy for those type of rumors. So
Yes.
por fin, mi bobisla, por fin.
It's like where there's smoke, there's fire, like they say. you know,
Yes.
so.
Impossible que tú reconoces cuando estás papeando, man.
It's a
Something
lie.
wasn't
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't right.
Yeah,
like,
ain't no thing Diddy defenders in the comment section. Like,
Rostov
nah,
Kitubay.
mm,
Cassie was a liar.
she just wanted the money.
Ugh,
She
ugh.
enjoyed the benefits and she dipped. La 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 la. Oh my god.
We gon' definitely like jump on into this,
Yeah.
y'all. We just go still break down a little bit of what we're talking about, and then we can actually go in, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in total, there are five charges. So the second one is sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Should I explain what's coercion?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Coercion is
And
when
sex trafficking, so they can understand. No, because in the U.S. it means like if you go on the U.S. website, they tell you like, okay, this is what it's about, you know. So
And there are also different forms of it. It's not like
Exactly.
one
Yes.
thing that people have in their head. It's different ways of doing it, you know?
Yes. Okay, so coercion is basically when you kind of like manipulate somebody to do something for you. So you manipulate the person so the person doesn't do it willingly, like at a full extent, but you kind of like coerce them to do it. So when it comes to that, this includes reported instances where victims were allegedly drugged or psychologically manipulated. So probably using Cassie 10 album deal and then telling her, okay, if you don't do this, then you're not going to get into the studio.
Yep.
Like something probably in the means of that, you know?
Yep.
We don't really know how that went fully to the extent, but yeah, kind of like that.
In that format.
In that format. The third one is transportation for purpose of prostitution or illegal sexual activity, which falls under the Mann Act violation,
Which he did.
which he did.
Definitely did.
So if I have to
Diddy
break
did it.
yeah, the
Right.
diddler did it.
He did it.
So if I have to just break down that very simple, you cannot in the United States take an escort from Las Vegas and fly them over to LA to indulge in any sexual activity.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
okay.
considered
From the moment
illegal.
that's sex
Okay, I
trafficking.
did not. Say me not to the song.
That's
I
why
say
we
me not
said
to
you
the
have
song.
to go
Okay.
to the website and then you'll
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
understand that.
Yes,
See,
because
that's
you know
no,
why?
because-
Because people don't understand the it's called the United States of America. So each
Every state has
Have their own laws.
law.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those laws are within the border of that state. It does not, sometimes it happens that the other state might have something similar, but usually it doesn't surpass that state border, like put it like that.
Gotcha.
The fourth one is kidnapping and assault allegations, which applies to supporting for the RICO or standalone charges. I think this was something that came up recently, the kidnapping. I think it was Capricorn.
Clark.
Yeah, that said that she was kidnapped by him. And then the fifth one being bribery and obstruction of justice. And I think
Threats.
if you can also like relay that back to what has been happening or what has been being reported on the case, the whole thing with the friend that he hit her with a I think it
Cassie's
was a-
friend?
yeah,
With a
with a
hanger.
Oh, okay.
wooden
Okay.
hanger,
Yeah.
and then paid her 30,000 to like shut up.
Yes.
That is considered bribery and obstruction of justice because within the law of the United States, anything that you do and you pay somebody and kind of like, how do you say, like it doesn't come out in the light.
In the public
In the
side.
public, it's bribery and obstruction of justice.
Okay.
And the last one, drug distribution and use of controlled substances. And yeah, we all know, what was his name?
Which one?
The drug guy that he had, his supplier. He has a specific name.
I forgot his name. Oh
They-
my god, I forgot
heard
his
it
name.
yesterday.
I can't
Something
remember
like
the name now. Pero yes.
yeah,
He had a specific
Yeah, he
guy
has a- he have a-
for
yeah.
the job.
yes, that had everything, even a plan B. He had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he supplied for different people, like big names and all this other good stuff.
Yes.
Correcto.
So this one says, if proven, this could support a charge of facilitating crimes with controlled substances, another element of the racketeering case. So within the RICO charge, like a lot of these things does fall under it.
Which is what a lot of people is not understanding. They don't see based off of, okay, so first of all, I feel like now we can get the conversation fully started. We got like the legal aspects out of the way. We understand what they are. So now it's time for dialect, okay? So I feel like a lot of people are not understanding. First of all, Cassie is not the star witness. Please understand this, okay? So the case does not revolve around Cassie. It has, she's just a really goeie voorbeeld, or like she is a person that can give a great point of view because she has actually been there, done that, and she already filed. So she's a perfect person that states like, hey, please, can we use your testimony? And so you can help the state.
Ito yung mas obvious what would be said. Ito yung okay,
And still alive.
yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank God.
Kim Porter can't talk, so.
No, yeah, Kim Porter can't talk. And if she
Exactly.
could talk, well, I know there's a lot would come out.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Kaya
Cassie is
importante
not the
pa
star
niya na no
witness
bruja
people.
essay.
That's like,
no bruja lo que ela lawsuit ko ela file contra Jay ko ela end up to settle for a couple million, 20 million or something like that. And this sagin anda dos cosas full diferente fe otro e ba falta e subpoena ku talo que pasa ku hope dinang ku nanta
They get
obliga.
subpoenaed.
See, so
Di
subpoena is
being
when you're
testify.
obligated by the
Sí.
government to testify.
So enota e headmaster di a case agita e government
No.
contra Sean Combs. Anto nang ayame ading bisebo tingo testify pasubra ko ba kumisa papia kaba no? Des bang let's keep the ball rolling. I amita duda ku eta to prome witness. She was the first one and they never put the strongest one first. Like eta to gewoon let's
just won.
Let's start let's start everything and they just call her first. So
I think
falta
they
paris si mga yun na babae.
Yeah, they said they called her first because she's highly pregnant.
Yeah, she's giving,
So
she was supposed to give birth
yeah.
already.
They
Right,
didn't want her to
right.
go into labor and not being able to
Right, which
testify, yeah.
they on Diddy's side,
Mhm.
they tried to call the mistrial.
Yeah, they try to like pull it on.
Yeah,
and
so she can stay there longer, and if she gave birth, eri costa kaba panang, he walks free. No, baby. The judge.
the judge is
That's a
Judge
good
Aaron.
judge.
Judge
I
Aaron.
love him.
Yes, I love him.
I
He's
love
young
him.
and
Because
people did not
sometimes-
expect him.
No.
all
And
this
nota
from
base
him.
sa wala bisa nang no, so tingo pura ko Cassie, she's gonna give birth soon. Get her in, get her out, and look.
Because the defense did say, they were like, nah, you know, like, Your Honor, we're by Friday we should be done. You know, y'all can cross-examine after that, and yada. The judge kept asking. He's asked on Wednesday again, on Thursday, and then they were like, yo, Your Honor, well, we think it's gonna take maybe Monday or Tuesday.
Excuse me, no.
No, the judge was like, listen, you have until 5:00. Get this over and done with. Thank you very much.
Thank God.
Yeah,
He is not playing at all.
He's very sharp. I like it. He's
Say,
very
para
sharp.
biya tayo po ko Josh ko mani.
Yeah, no, but he's very sharp. Straight away.
Yeah.
Let's get this ball rolling.
So how do y'all feel on the Cassie case? So if we're talking about on her testimony and all this good stuff, like what is y'all take on this, and especially versus what you see going on social media? Like, break that down for me.
Kiko mi babisa.
If I have to say it in one word, I'm disturbed.
Right. Oh, of course.
I am disturbed by some of the comments that I read on Facebook.
Especially from women.
Yeah. Because my stance on this is, okay, this is happening. I don't want to like rush into judgment. I just want to see, of course, how this thing is developing. But a lot of the things that you're hearing right now in this case, you've been hearing it long time ago already. Like, it's not something that from one day to the next day
And
you're
not nada
hearing.
novo. Diz que wala to confirm.
Yeah.
Pero not nada
It's
novo.
And
you
everybody
know,
that spoke out was actually called crazy.
Exactly.
AKA Jaguar, right?
All of them. All.
Her.
People forget that she said a lot of things that came up in this case that because I saw some of the podcasts, I was like, she was spot on.
All the ex-bodyguards that have been speaking out.
Yeah.
Orlando Brown, all these people, like, we just look at them as crazy because they just talking gibberish, but they've been saying
Orlando
stuff
is
for
playing
years.
crazy at this point. He's not crazy. He knows what he's
They've
talking
been
about.
saying stuff for
Yeah.
years.
Sempre bisa
So,
desde como tem mavo mit wax conspiracy theories over the egaiki. Ya woki turcos ta and one by one and to basically testify over. So listen, the industry is dark. That's the first thing. It's very,
Yes.
very dark. And the other cause, você tem que ler um tiki para mim com common cause lang
Yep.
mani. E check it just buscando placa of ela just enjoy the benefits. Mi nota bisa que nota tem benefits. Maybe she was on a jet every now and then. Maybe she
Switch a
was
jet
getting
every
new
night.
clothes and whatever. But she was going through very hard
But
things.
malesa post de somebody on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, this person described it just how it is, because he put Cassie and then he put what's her name, the city girl,
Carisha.
Miami.
Carisha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he said Cassie was with Diddy for over 10 years. She had a 10 album deal with him. Not one album came out. Carisha,
People miss that part.
Yeah,
They miss
Carisha
that
was
part.
with him like for how long? For a couple of months? I don't think it was even a year.
No, I think it was a year.
A
or
year?
something.
Going on a year.
Sí.
Yeah?
Sí.
She had a whole show.
Sí.
A whole show which was nominated for a BET award. What did Cassie get out of this?
She got nothing.
Well,
Like, I would say, I don't know, like,
So
she signed her life away, no?
yeah, she signed her life away. So in this case, the guy that commented on this, and it was a guy, I was pleasantly surprised. It was a guy, and he said, yeah, so she should sue him
for sure.
for all the damages that she
For sure.
sustained while she was with him.
Which
Yeah, when
Cassie did say, she was like, she wasn't even gonna sue. She went to is the book that she wrote when she was in therapy about all that she endured, and she was like, hey, I want Diddy to read it. And they were like, girl, nobody's reading that nonsense. So she was like, no, I want him to read it. So she was like, okay, I'm going to publish this book then. And that's when they took her serious. And they was like, okay, look. That's when they settled with her. She was like, okay, give me 30 mil. Then they settled for 20. She was
At
like,
some
oh,
point,
okay.
emisarahaya algo.
Pero that was not her intent at all.
And just if you look at it from a legal perspective too, for me, just on the part alone that she signed a 10 album deal and not even one came out, I would have been able to sue him on that too, because he didn't fulfill his end of the deal.
At
Right.
all. At
And then,
all.
botahaya comment na, oh, pero di ko yun buy. Why didn't she walk away? Why didn't she sue anytime sooner? Si bota basic atrobe. Follow a case, si bota basic tawa kung peligroso, e gaya kita ta mustra, dita, kung no solamente Cassie, kung ture yan na Randy Jebo, la comprende pa kiko, e mucha ake, tato mucha, no? Ito, she was
Yep.
very young. She was
very,
21.
no, she was like,
She
when she
started
met him
17.
She started
She
the
was
relationship
just
with him at
18.
21. But they knew each other from,
before she was 18.
yes, I don't know when she signed though. When did she
I
sign?
think- I think she signed with him as soon as she became 18.
Si awe ano sa din no hasi say this yega firma unko tempo na yan no tatasina
wasn't
tempo
like
na yan
that.
they were selling you dreams and hopes and you're gonna get to the charts and make
And
millions
you're actually
and
talking to the physical.
exactly I'm in Diddy's
successful
office so it must be true like
Like-
no tatuhin po yega kiding so ama yega mita sign it and then nothing happened. She was his property basically.
But he had an agenda for her clearly, and
Yeah.
one of the executive that used to work with him also said it that Diddy was like one of his first things. He was like, "Man, I got her. Like Kim is like that's the mother of my child. You know, I, like that's whatever. But Cassie, she's young. She's moldable. Like,
moldable that
so
and he's
that already
actually
tells-
said that
he
so.
knows what his intention was always this, and this is why I think we had this conversation as well on the difference with Carisha. I feel like Cassie also, if you follow the case, she also said that the beating didn't start up until a year and a half into the relationship.
Yeah,
so
it's
the
not gonna start
first
right away,
time
yeah.
was pamper, 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 pamper. Look, listen, this is the life. Like
Kind of love bombing,
that's
right?
what
Yeah,
it is.
love bombing.
Love
someone.
bomb
Yeah.
you that you fall in love.
She
and
got
you're
a
like,
taste of the fame, of the
Everything.
glory, and she was
everything.
trapped.
So she knows this is this is legit. Like,
See?
come on. And then the random beatings happen. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, she looked the wrong way. She
Yeah.
even mentioned the case where he was like, he was flirting with other girls and she didn't even care. Like, she was like, okay, whatever. And he just went in and just started beating her, like, pop, 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 like, for no good reason. And you can clearly see this is pimp behavior.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is how pimps
Literally,
treat.
yeah.
They get you in a trance, and then people are saying like, "Oh, she enjoyed the freak offs." She was clearly drugged. Like they tell you how drugged everybody was.
I said maybe she enjoyed it in the beginning. Maybe it was like an
She
adventure
said she
type
didn't from
of
the
thing.
get-go.
No, I don't think
She
she
said she was-
enjoyed it. You know
Yeah.
why? Because
It was
from-
like, let me just say yes for this time, and
Because
then
I
it
love
kept
him.
going. It kept
Yeah.
going. It
That's
kept
what it
going.
was.
Because
So
coming from a woman perspective, sometimes we just get so, I don't want to
Yeah,
say the
yeah,
word,
yeah.
traumatized. And sometimes, because you're with your partner and you love him so much and you want to please him, you do these things. But it's not because you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I don't think she did.
yeah, I
No,
was just,
she-
I was
don't think she
I was
did.
talking for like a middle ground, like since the comments are like, oh, she liked it. You know what? I was like, you know what? Maybe she did, but that doesn't give him right to beat her, to sell her, to tell her that she has to sleep with this different type of men. Maybe it started like, okay, do she basico, okay, basico, and then it went south completely.
And
so
And if she
it
didn't like it,
the
and if she didn't like-
possibilities
yeah, but
of
if she did like it, why do you need drugs?
exactly.
But
Why do
that's-
you have to?
That's where I feel like people are not understanding. It was his kink, and they're saying, oh, a lot of the comments are coming saying she liked it because they have a statement showing that she was actually the one like making the phone calls
Exactly,
and arranging it. But these were all off of his request. Now we're gonna get into a little bit more details that was also shared in the courtroom, where he was actually stating that, Cassie also stated that so he would have them play out a role. He's covered in a hijab. His face is covered.
Yeah.
He's fully body oiled all the way down, and he's just watching and
Yeah, doing his thing.
beating out with a meat.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
strange. He is a strange
He's
man.
watching, and then he's directing her. He's telling her what to do, how
Yeah.
to act. So she has, even if the sex workers don't know this, but she and Diddy know beforehand. Diddy's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I want you to play in like this. Act like you like it. Do all of these things. So she has to know. She knows if she does not give her best
Yeah.
performance, she's getting the beatdown of her life
Yeah.
again. Okay, man. In that moment, I have to just go all. I am having the time of my life. Please go harder. Go. She said she would even stop thinking about things and just look at look at the ceiling.
Oh my gosh, she was
and
zoning
just
out. and
Zoning
like,
out. She's in sores. Her mouth is in
thing.
sores. She's in pain. She's telling him like she doesn't want to do this. He's like, no, you have to do it. So, and another thing is that once they were done, guys, I have to say this on the radio. Once he ejaculate, the sex workers ejaculate in her, because that's what he always wanted to come
And they finished.
for them to finish on top of her or inside of her. And then once they were done, Diddy and Cassie would go into a separate room.
I read that.
She would have to take the semen
Put it on him.
and rub it on his nipples.
oh my God. What?
That was his fetish. Like he loved that. He loved after she was done with them, for her to like take that juice out and then like just play with that thing all over and just be like, yeah, like.
But I even heard that it went further than that, because
most
when
prob-
they used to do the thing, finish inside of her, they mean to say he used to lick that thing.
Could well be, but
Slurp that thing.
he would do it in a separate room, not in
Yeah.
the same room with them.
Yeah.
With them. So this is what him and Cassie. So Cassie just again sit there and just take this, and that clearly shows you he had to portray an image that he loved her, but that was his toy. That was his, and she was not the only one.
It was an object. Like if you just look at the statements, you can never possibly think that this man had any love for this girl.
At all.
He just used her as
His
her-
rag doll.
It was like a sex slave. Like we put
That's
it like
that's exactly what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Let me put it like
Listen,
that's what it was.
And he was and guys, this is where the sex trafficking comes in. He was taking Cassie and he was taking the sex workers putting them on flights because he was having these freak off sessions.
The parties.
All over in Miami, Atlanta, New York, all over the place. And he would hire sex workers from different locations and be like on a website and be like, okay, look, I want this guy. Hey, bring this guy. Let's get this one. Send him on a private jet on over. He would have liquid drugs. So in eye drops, in baby oils. He also would have them allegedly in his alcohol bottles for like Ciroc and Deleon and all these other things. That's how he would transport his drugs. So he had all these things liquefied in liquefied ecstasy and all these type of things. And that's what he would make in the drinks. So people don't even remember what they're drinking. And then while these freak off sessions are going on, he has hidden cameras set up all over. So he has actually been recording these things for years. People don't even know
blackmail them after
that they're being recorded.
Yeah.
Okay. And Cassie actually found out at one instance that somebody on the streets had one of the videos and when she found out who it was one of the sex workers.
One of the escorts that regularly.
He was scared.
Yeah.
So he was like, I recorded it because I was scared.
You guys remember the South African dude that was like all the range that they caught in
Jeremy? Wait, no, was it Jeremy? What's his name?
I forgot his name.
He was
People thought he was cuckoo.
a cute guy. He was
People thought he was cuckoo when he said that he was a sex slave for Diddy and Cassie when he was testifying to the police.
And he called off more people.
And
so Berta,
Uh-huh.
he passed away, right? That's
No,
the one
he's
that passed.
alive.
he's alive and well
He
in jail.
I think he testified, or he's
No, I
going
don't
to
think-
testify.
I don't know.
Jeremy Meeks or not Jeremy Meeks. That's the other guy. I know who. Yes.
It's a Caucasian dude with the tattoos.
Yeah, he's cute.
Okay.
Yeah. He said like a while ago that he was a sex slave for Cassie and Diddy. And of course they didn't believe him because he was high on drugs and whatever. And it resulted to be true because Cassie
Everything he said. Everything he said. He was like, yo, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, these guys are gay. He called off a bunch of people in that tape.
Then we're talking about the same person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
It was Jeremy something, right?
I can't remember if it's Jeremy or I can't remember exactly his name, pero that dude. So all this information been existing, you all. It's nothing new, okay? And then we also have to talk about Miss Dawn, not Dawn Richard, but there's another lady that actually came in and she was testifying on how the perspective is from somebody that's basically getting abused, how they think, why sometimes their stories don't align. Remember, it's something that they tried years to forget.
Okay.
So the memories are not going to line up. It's something where, and you see this why police question people over and over and over, because the more I question you, the more inconsistencies I'm going to find, and then the more I can round off what the actual story was, because the more you're going to revisit and be like, oh, okay, I remember this small detail. Oh, wait, no, this actually happened. Oh, no, it was actually like this. So that's why that part. She also named off on them blanking out and looking at other things in that moment of going through whatever feelings you're going through. You're not going to physically or mentally want to be there. So you're going to tune out. You're going to, getting raped, for instance, at some point you're going to fight off, but then you're going to have to like give in. A lot of victims, once they give in, they start focusing on something in the room that they
block
can just be
whatever
like,
está pasando. Purba anto di hasi, and then you're not gonna remember exactly what happened.
and that's only what that memory can trigger. That memory can trigger only that one thing that they were looking at.
Okay.
So if they were bent down, then they just remember, okay, I remember seeing my shoe.
Yeah, but also something that we have to also mention was that they said after so many years of drug abuse and how much drugs she was using, it might potentially have, changed her brain.
Of
So
course.
Cassie,
Of course.
she was using drugs heavily for more than 10 years.
I mean, drugs get your face
scary
beat.
kung hong nos pasando. Hon nos din yung idea. She always looked pretty, dressed up, makeup, and
But
everything.
if you notice something,
by
she
his
never
side.
smiled. She
Cassie
never
was
smiled.
never a smiler.
She never smiled. But you see her pictures right now with her
No, that's what I'm saying.
In a way, she's
From-
all
In the career that we've known her in the spotlight, she
She's
was never a
happy.
smiler.
She was never smiling.
Yeah.
So, and then when she had like the hair And so, a few days ago, I was actually listening to her song with Nicki Minaj, "The Boys."
The boys always spending all the money. It was for him.
And like now, I
It was
listen to
for
the
him,
lyrics.
yeah.
She's like, they get high, f all bunch of girls, and then cry. I
On
was
top
like,
of the world. Yeah.
oh damn, she been talking about this.
Nicki mentions something about Diddy in the song, somewhere in the lyrics.
Yes.
Very, very briefly.
She did.
I missed it for all these years.
No, she did. I remember the lyric. Yes, she did. She did. So it's wild. It's wild. And then we also have the whole thing with Kid Cudi and his car
Yeah, that's another. Oh
and
my
his
god.
dog.
Arson. Does arson fall under RICO? Does it fall somewhere in there?
I
I've read
think so,
yes, but it was
yes.
just a comment, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think I read that also.
So
in
arson,
here.
básicamente siendo algo na candela, and you're obviously gonna get charged for that.
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí, mira
no.
que-
So what the thing is, they're just trying to link it
Yes.
where they can say, hey, it was Diddy. He can't put Diddy on the scene.
Yeah.
But based off of his conversation, Diddy already apologized and told him all these type of things, so he knows Diddy did it. Pero that's messed up. And now I see like a lot of people. I see Young Thug called him a snitch, and then deleted it.
He did.
He called him a snitch.
He better delete that.
That's
'cause
what everybody said.
Yeah.
He cannot be saying things when he's going back to jail. Thugger.
Yeah.
He deleted that.
The
thing
same
quick.
person that's representing Diddy representing him.
Yeah.
And he got out on very, very strict conditions that he can very easily break. Pero ita afo, and he should be quiet and serving the Lord, basically, what they said, no? And no papi over the gangs, things music,
Exactly.
nada. And no by back, unda que la crea say he can go back over there, nothing. So pa snitch, you have some
And also,
I didn't know he said that.
he did. He
Kidia.
post and delete. After Kid Cudi testified.
But he's another one that was
Edinburgh.
subpoenaed to testify.
Yes.
Exactly.
So what do you want the guy to do? You probably want the guy to go to jail just
No,
like,
nangyay pegayan. Nangyay pegayan.
No,
Say.
not happening. Sorry.
And then ita gaya pero después Capricorn na bini, yala basically
Cassie also talked about the car blowing up.
nang
So, like,
turtres a papi over the Kiko pasa, and then Capricorn said, yeah, she called Cassie,
she called Cudi, I think, also.
And-
Capricorn called Cudi.
and
and
we
told
said,
him,
did
like,
it
hey,
before, di ba
he's
kaso,
at your
something like
house.
that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the dots are connecting. So,
Three people can't be lying on the same thing.
embo ba iya kagaya to yung otro hindi bisa ko si the verdad, ando basa?
There's too much.
But all they care about is like,
coincidence.
your street creds about snitching and
Which-
not snitching. And
Guys, can we also come to terms with what snitching actually means? Okay, so snitching is when two people that do the same crime get caught, okay? And then one person
Punta papi, ah.
snitches on the other person
Yeah.
so they can get free, and
They
then
can
the
get
other
out.
person takes the heat. That
Yeah.
is snitching. Snitching is when we both did something. Kid Cudi did not blow up the man's car to be like, oh, okay, well, me and Diddy did it, but no, put all the blame on Diddy.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not snitching, okay? He was the victim. He can talk about it. He lost his car. His dog got paranoid because apparently they came in his house.
Yeah.
They
locked
traumatized the dog
and traumatized
too.
the dog. Back then, I would have been like, you doing too much. You acting like a girl. But now that I understand
And
love
let's
for
be
my
honest,
pets,
Kid Cudi was not.
Don't mess
Diddy's
with my
friend.
dog.
Don't
What
mess
keep
with
it
my
diciendo?
And he wasn't Diddy's friend, so who cares?
No.
like, I don't care. Goodbye. Miss me with that nonsense.
Yeah.
And G's not about to cap a Cassie mask with yung hindi. Again, the
Nobody.
control that he had over her entire life. And no para escucha que check agita ta mirawak. Yung hindi na
no
bani
pora
je.
trabajar, no pora accept modeling gigs, no pora accept like film roles, nothing.
That's crazy.
Nah, it's wild.
crazy.
Ladies, hold up. We have to take a quick little break, y'all. Give us 2 seconds and we come in right back, y'all. Right back.
X 102.7.
It's a back! Eddie Diaz Flip Flop Festival dyan Sabra, 7 de Juni na Harbor Arena, powered by Chill Beer y Elite Empire. Un explosión musical que entre otras sensación de momento. Por di Colombia, BL. Y por di Caribe, en Megastar di Dancehall, Mr. Vegas lo pone público Shake and Move. También on stage, hottest soca stars, Black Adan y Young Reda. Pero sa akin Aruba Tour, Rafik, DJ BB Bad, Tsunami, Groove Masters e A Touch of Steel will rock the place. Compra mo ticket sa General o VIP na Sitco Boulevard, Esoville, pay.away o via Elite Empire Events website. Flip Flop Festival presenta pa Chill, Bay, KFC, Pay.away, Tours, Elite Empire, Aruba Airport Authority, Bacardi, Sprite, Coca-Cola e Dusay. Ya sabra, 7 de Juni. Flip Flop Festival.
Nakamina pa Flip Flop Festival. Ya sabe de 2 horas para 4 aqui na MES, na XFM 102.7. 102.7.
Tune in every Saturday from 12 to 2 with Jeff Maduro for Euro Pulse, right here on XFM Aruba.
This Friday, the Wake Up Crew, live from Craft Aruba, 7 to 10 a.m.
Tomorrow morning, get up. Good morning. And listen to the Wake Up Crew.
It's the bomb, yo.
On X 102.7.
My favorite station.
Baller approved After Dark with B and Sin.
Oh yeah.
Every Wednesday night from 8 to 10 on XFM 102.7. XFM y DJ Jamie presentan Ritmo.
El programa más caliente en la isla de Aruba, sin discusión. Ritmo, your life, your music.
Tune in to DJ Jamie's Ritmo Show every Friday from 8 to 11 p.m. Every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. Switch it. Fridays and Saturdays only on XFM 102.7. The #1 program of the weekend. Ritmo, your life, your music. Here, you'll hear the best music selection of the entire planet and the best mixes with local and international DJs. This is Ritmo with DJ Jamie on XFM. More hit music every hour. Back to the hits on X 102.7.
Back it up and dump it, back it up and dump it.
Aye, y'all, we back. And we ready to get back on into the conversation, okay?
Oh my God.
We are in the last part of it, and then, y'all, we're going to have to come back with this next week, okay? I know it seems a little bit all over the place, but we kind of have to
Hope
recap
está pasando.
3 weeks in, like, about an hour. Okay, so give us grace. By next week, we should have all the updates, and then we can just go from what went on this week. So we can just give y'all the recap for this week, and then it'll be easier. Okay, so now we're just giving you on everything that happened. Okay, so let's continue on. So we were just in a break. We were just actually talking about them basically saying that Cassie cheated on Diddy, so it is justifiable on why she got beat up, why she got drugged, and why she was in these things. Okay, because y'all do have to realize Diddy's team is not fighting and saying that none of this never happened. Okay, they're not saying that, oh, well, no, they're saying basically, oh, it happened because Cassie cheated. Cassie wanted
Because
it.
she wanted it, yeah.
They're trying to make it seem like, oh, no, she also liked it.
Or she active part.
She was an
Actively-
active part
yeah,
in it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, he's trying to say, like, nah, don't take me. Like, we liked doing stuff like this. And it's like, that was not the case.
Nando tá poniendo over di ku das Cassie tá bata organizar freak-offs, pero tá sabi pa banda
Under
di
his
Diddy pa
demands.
poneri ba je. Paso
Yeah,
tá
of
eta tá
course.
paga, pero tá
Exacto.
Diddy su placa. E ela di su banda.
sabi, si a mí tá Diddy, toch? Si me tá sabi, mi tá bem, mas pessoa me não quer mi
Yeah.
number word
Yeah,
envolvido em coisa nem.
yeah, wag nando por batir ba je.
Also,
Pero
pero-
taba paga, taba yamami,
Sim,
taba
pessoa-
a PD, taba a.
Exacto.
Pero
Pero ora botar wak text messages ku escort, tá quem seu número botar wak, Cassie, bom, Diddy tá smart enough de não fazer isso mesmo,
Sim.
so ele não tá vai ter prova ku a botar tá assim sei.
But what we also have to remember, and I feel like a lot of people are not realizing this, is because Cassie is not the only one. Like, he's been doing this before Cassie. So please do understand these freak-off sessions been going on way before Cassie. So Cassie is just the one that we're getting to find out the details on, but this has been going on. You even have like Gina, for instance. She's not gonna testify.
I don't care. No.
And she is also in the same boat. She was a young girl, always in this, like when Cassie was 23, I think Gina was
speak out
17 or
tambe.
18. Well,
So
exactly.
we have
she
a
already
Jane-
talked about it.
We have a Jane Doe too that nobody knows.
We
who
have
she
so
is.
much
Tem
coming.
vários,
Tem
hindi ko
vários.
anonymous,
So much
ko
coming.
testify, kung nos notahan sa king ng ta, ng number na makdi, wardo bisa, so it's not her, only her, like,
Cassie is not the star witness, everybody. Okay, she's a key witness, but she is not the star witness. We still have the testimony from the star witness coming up. So the main person that this lawsuit is coming up for, like it's nothing to do with Cassie. Like, I mean, it has to do with her, but she's just like, okay. So basically, right now, what they're doing is building a foundation, okay, to a house. So you have to understand all the small things for you to be like, oh, okay, well, this is why this is why this. Okay, this happened, so this is how he manipulated. They have to build a full story before they start building up to build a house. So then you can clearly see all the other things. So it is a build up. This is time being taken to paint out, because remember, this is not them trying to convince us, the people. They have to convince the jury.
Yeah,
The
and
jury is what matters.
to add what you're saying, this is not a civil case; it's a federal case. So the feds came to get him.
Like, raids and all.
Feds, the government.
So it is big. It is the state against this man. Like, and he knew he was in deep ish because he hired criminal lawyers.
He has
Right
like,
away.
Right, how much? He has like 10?
Mm-hmm.
10
I
people on
think
his
team,
team.
I think
This last one came in.
he has
that-
the best of the best. Mambo
Yeah,
Nesina.
this
He has the
last
best of the
one
best.
came from the state of Georgia. I forgot her name. I was listening to it yesterday. That is a very, very sharp one. She cross-examined.
Johnny Depp's girl.
No,
That case.
no, she cross-examined the Richards girl. What was her name again?
Dawn.
Dawn Richards.
Yeah.
And she kind of like grilled her pretty bad.
You know, they went in on Dawn.
They went in.
Which a lot of people were kind of upset about as well, because they were like, they felt like it had a little bit of colorism in it, because they felt like they went
Yeah,
hard
I
on
heard that,
Dawn,
I heard that.
but then on Cassie's ex-best friend,
Yeah,
they
went
were so
soft.
nice and soft with her, and they were like, like Dawn really got grilled.
Yeah, but she was cross-examined by a person of color too. And then a friend from
strategically.
Yeah, was cross-examined by the one that did the Young Thug.
Okay.
And he has a more playful approach than the one that cross-examined Don Richards.
But they still say that Dawn's testimony was still strong.
Yeah, it is.
So-
it is very much so.
Even with some of her inconsistencies, and again, this was over 10 years, because Dawn came from making a band and all this good stuff. So again, all of the memory is not going to make sense, and that's when this other lady, Dawn Hughes, that lady, she came in. She actually broke it down. She's on why the stories are going to change and why there are going to be inconsistencies, and it's not. And now Diddy and his team, they want to get her testimony thrown out. They're like, nah.
Oh, really?
No, yes, because
Yes.
so when they cross-examined Don Richards, people were like, oh shit, she kind of fucked it up because oh gosh.
It's a radio, baby.
Oh, sorry.
It's a radio, baby.
She kind of messed it up, and they brought in very smart from the prosecution to bring in this woman to kind of explain like what happens when you have some types of inconsistencies within your story. And it's something too that happened like long time ago, and probably like you said, she wanted to suppress that memory. She didn't want it to be associated with the whole thing, and yeah, I would understand why you would have maybe some inconsistencies. But if you see that the overall story, it's still the same
It's still
thing.
the same.
Yeah.
Ito tricky ora ko hope aya pasa since something happened. Anto ba tingo bay back ding say
De memory ko portable que ni siquiera.
sí, hasta si ata algo no atraumatizado ko di 20 anos pa sa minuto bay conteme sun cos ko si mapasa din je si mang
Si man
pasa.
pasa, mes me acorda
Same. Low-key same.
Hey,
My memory is
mi
bad.
mommy brain. Ami ko mi mommy brain último. Kumita hace 5-10 minutos pasado.
Like a while ago, like, be like, sir,
Yeah.
I'm say? I'm a business say?
Yeah.
Deng sere ba kung dami ko ikaw?
Like, stop. Come
No,
on.
and this hand and the expect pa to cause by perfect is smooth. It's not like that. Not about a scene.
And another thing I want a lot of people to take into consideration is these indoctrinations, they happen young. Okay, we're finding out about these things on an older age group, but y'all are like making jokes and all this good stuff. But your daughters, and also sex trafficking is actually wider within young boys. Okay, but within your daughters, y'all really need to be watching it, because these lover boys start from in school. They indoctrinate the girls and be like, hey, be my girlfriend. And then, months pass by, and then they're like, hey, well, if you love me, come to this party at my cousin's house. And, if you love me, then like sleep with my cousin. Like, let him hit it. Hey, if you love me, they keep upgrading it. Like, okay, well, if you love me, come to this party. There's a bunch of
the
these
older
rich white
men
people
preying on these high school girls.
And that's what.
Hey, I remember.
That's what they're about.
When I was living in Holland. Like 10 years ago, this thing was a thing. Lover boys was a thing. Yeah, it was a thing. They used to play these things for reclamas, like watch out with lover boys, because it was a whole thing happening that the lover boys used to make girls prostitute.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah,
That's how
or
pimping starts.
sell drugs for them. I remember it was a very widespread thing within Rotterdam.
That's trafficking. That's how it goes. It's taking up these young girls that are moldable, like Diddy said.
Exactly.
Take them because they're easier. And it's you're not gonna pry on the hood girls, because they're gonna be like, hey boy, get from here.
Yeah,
You're gonna take the house girls.
Street smarts for you too.
Them smart, cute house girls that don't do nothing. Naive parents told them, no, don't go outside. Don't talk to those boys. Okay, that's exactly the boys that they want to go talk to now, because now those boys are interested in them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're way easier to fall in love.
That's why I find, for me right now as a new mom, and I've always said this sometimes in my Facebook posts, is very important to teach your kids or teach people discernment.
Oof, sim.
And discernment is like the ability to be able to judge certain like people or situations,
Desde chiquito.
Desde chiquito.
Like, ainda pensa que o parta orang bira grande.
No. É importante
Young.
de chiquito você não. Você é habilidade para não por wak manehei. Você
Feel a vibe. Your gut feeling.
Bom of você. This ain't no sound too good. Like
It sounds too good to be true.
Oh, it sounds too good to be true as well. Yeah.
All I have to do is just sign here, and then you're gonna give me all this money, and then
And you want
And
nothing
that's
in
it?
return. That's it. Yeah.
algo na tá bom.
Yeah.
Okay, anto mi tata na po taki nang pa-firma ko mi.
Sim.
No?
Or if you want, sempre busca second opinion. Sempre busca backup. Don't do nothing by yourself. Si asita algo over the manikiko kasi pa din kala sign something. Have somebody check that for you. Basta?
And I saw a cop was talking about this. They were like, listen, your parents are your parents, but your parents don't always know better in certain cases. When it comes to contracts and signings, have a lawyer. It don't matter. Your parents didn't study law. They love you, but they didn't study law. So certain deals are gonna sound sweet to them because it sounds like a lot of money, but a lawyer can be like, well, for your pain and sufferings, this is a horrible deal.
So yegiwa ke say tami, for example, Justin Bieber, for example, his mom basically sold him away. Like she saw fame and was that this?
You see, that's why discernment is even important within adults.
Yeah.
Because if you have discernment and somebody come with you with this contract, and you say, you know what, let me get a lawyer because I don't know about this.
Exactly.
You know? That's why it's important. Discernment, people.
Hey, it's crazy. It's really, really, really crazy. But y'all, listen. Shout out to Edwin, by the way. Okay, in the comments. Y'all, listen. We are at the end of the show. Unfortunately, we gotta close out. However, we gon' schedule a date for next week. so we could get back on into this because it's too much of a hot topic. Okay, this trial is gonna be about until the 4th of July. It might be extended because it's a hot case.
Really?
It's a very, very, very big case. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have not even gone into it as yet, okay? This is just week 3, y'all. So, ladies, please plug yourselves before we close out. Let the people know what your Instagram handles here or whatever, where they can find y'all if they want to follow.
Follow me with Staff for Accept everywhere. On Snapchat, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Staff for Accept.
I just want to say don't follow me because it's private.
That's also okay. That is also okay.
It's private.
Let them follow the co-work. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they can
Girl,
follow
come
my
on.
business, the co-work, the
Like-
co-work
Yeah,
Aruba
yeah.
on Instagram, the co-work Aruba on Facebook.
Don't follow me.
Pick something, girl. Something. Oh, y'all, by the way, I gotta pick out a winner for a flip flop. Okay, yes. We gonna stay picking out winners, cause hella, come on. All right, it looks like our winner for today goes to Regina Vandenberg. Okay, shout out to Regina, baby, you are a winner